Obviously, I'm a lawyer in a commercial law firm called Shoosmiths, but I went to a local comprehensive school in Perth, and I didn't have any thoughts or real guidance about what I wanted to do at university. So when I got some decent grades in 5th year, all the guys above me were doing that were getting decent grades, decided to go off to Edinburgh University and do law, and my English teacher suggested to me that I might want to do that as well. I then went to Aberdeen University. I got an acceptance into Glasgow, but I chose Aberdeen, and after I qualified into a recession in 1989-1990. And so I had interviews. I had a very last-minute offer from a county firm in Fife where I trained, and then I went to Kirkcaldy and worked for a year doing residential property and advising people on wills. And then I went to Edinburgh where again I did residential property at what was quite a challenging time in the property market, so I was really keen to do well, and also quite grateful to have a job, frankly. It didn't strike me as odd at all that when I was going for the interviews that I was interviewed by 3 middle-aged men in suits. I think I was a little bit naive, frankly, in terms of my knowledge of the legal profession and the legal sector in Edinburgh, but I soon learned. When I went into my first qualified position in Edinburgh in what was a commercial law firm, it was a commercial real estate firm, there were lots of junior female assistants and all the partners were males, and I just thought I was naive, as I say. I just thought that was the way it was. Now you have to remember that we were coming in from the 80s, so there weren't so many females at that point coming into the law, although there were quite a few juniors just starting to come through. It was the norm, and you had to actually look up and realise what was going on in order for you to challenge that. And to be frank with you, I don't think I did. I just worked really hard. I think a lot's been done. I think that in order for to compete for the best legal talent in the commercial marketplace, that firms have got to actually wake up and smell the coffee. I think that they have. There's a lot of box ticking going on in quite a lot of the commercial firms, so you've really got to challenge and interrogate and hold their heels to the fire in terms of what their values and cultures truly are. I think that in order to change, you've got to listen, and primarily you've got to listen. You've got to be inclusive, you've got to listen to men as well as women. You've got to start looking at gender balanced long lists for every single promotion, whether that's internal or external. If you're bringing in lateral hires, you've got to ask people if they're going to bring a team, how did they select their team? You've got to actually, look at the data and interrogate the data and analyse the data so you can make improvements. It's a massive picture. We've got to really concentrate and focus on the big issue and listen to absolutely everybody from top to bottom, men, women, ethnicity and religion. It's just got to be a completely comprehensive listening exercise. But I think the most important thing is to listen to what everybody is saying in the organisation and live by your values and your culture and walk the walk as well as talk the talk. Okay, I would encourage all females looking to get into the law to research properly. The commercial firms are, there's quite a few of them, and there's more and more in Scotland as the nationals come up in order to operate in the regions. But I would say to them to research their culture, research their values, try to speak to them, not necessarily in terms of the recruitment process, pick up the phone to their HR teams, speak to them, find out what they're about, find out what initiatives and programmes that they have in place for ensuring gender diversity. And then I would prepare very hard for the process and be prepared to work extremely hard. I think it's a tough job. I think that you've got to be prepared to, I don't think that anybody can have it all these days, and I'm talking about women and men. I think that you're going to have to make sure that your mental well-being is well supported and catered in that firm, as well as working very hard. And I think you've got to be careful about the firm that you select, because there are small, medium and large commercial firms, and you can get just as good experience across the whole sector.